This is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on YouTube. Both these teams are 1-4, but they took opposite ways to get here. Charleston looked like their season would start off on the right note, winning their first game, lost the last four. And Atlanta has slowly but surely been recovering from a 0-4 start, winning their last game last week. It's the Swarm and the Predators. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am Tyler Falk, happy to have your company here for Week 7 of SFL action here from Robert Small Memorial Stadium. It's your maniacal Minnesotan. He's finally paired up once again with his crazy Canadian, Brett Solberg. Welcome back in, Brett. 2 1-4 teams, but still lots to prove here as we hit the halfway point in the season.
Lots to prove and huge implications for both these teams that they start to chalk off these wins here, and it starts tonight for both these squads here. Charleston still has a fighting chance in this Atlantic division that is so airtight with 3-3-2 teams right now. If they can get themselves back on track, they can be in the thick of things. Whereas if Atlanta can get back to things, they'd be in the likes of the Louisiana and Jacksonvilles of the world. But something has to give here. There's always one side of the football that isn't working. For Atlanta, it's the offense. For Charleston, it is the defense. What is going to improve tonight to get one of these teams 2-4?
Charleston won the toss and deferred to the second half, so they will kick us off tonight there in their black and reds. Atlanta in their white and black says, "Here we go," from Robert Smalls Memorial. Opening kickoff is taken back for a knee by Siege Falco, and so the opening drive for Atlanta will start on their own 20-yard line, and that is where 7th season quarterback Bryant Dynasty will march his troops out in the field for his first possession of the contest.
And this has been a guy who has been slowly improving offensively this season, but has had a lack of protection from the offensive line. League worst, 16 sacks allowed by the Atlanta offensive line.
They're really going to need to count on that line against Charleston's defense, especially that linebacking core, as they get to BDG Hollywood, the tailback, after a 4-yard pickup. And let's meet the rest of that Swarm offense. Of course, we just mentioned Dynasty, the quarterback, in the halfback BDG Hollywood, who just surpassed 17,000 yards in his career. That is the most all-time to this point. Mitchell O'Brien is the fullback with Kyle Finnemore, Siege Falco, and Boo Chisholm at wide receiver. Why not Arlette and Phenom Shai are the tight ends, with Hunter Hollywood and Sam Falco at the left tackle and left guard spot, respectively, as Hollywood picks up another first down.
A pretty generous first down at that, because he landed about a yard behind that first down marker, but they're giving him forward progression on that. And this is what Atlanta's done better to get BDG involved. Remember that first week where he only had 56 yards? We can forget about that. Last week, 236 and 2 touchdowns on the ground from BDG in the win against Motor City.
Dynasty will look to throw and nearly throws it right to Gino McFly. Gino McFly is able to knock it down as we introduce you to the rest of his Predator defense. Anthony Robertson, Robert Cherry, John Lawley, and Thomas Matthews make up the defensive linemen, with Khalil Thomas, Jack Brown, Mo Jontana partner up alongside the aforementioned McFly at linebacker. Corey Menner, J.W. Hartshorn, and Mark Martin are the corners, with Sam Blotner, Matt Ryan, Guy Incognito, and Sean Stamango at safety. Dynasty rolls out, fires over the middle.
Ooh.
One-handed snag from Kyle Finnemore at the logo.
Yeah, and Finnemore is trying to score. So far this season, he's had no touchdowns, but he is the main yard benefactor out of this wide receiver core. 454 yards coming into this week. He can chalk up another 20 to his yard marker here tonight, whereas, the rest of this squad here has kind of been, touchdown by committee. You see 2 touchdowns from Arlette and then 1 from Chisholm, Falco, and O'Brien through the air.
Hollywood on the give now on the toss play right side. He is stood up by Anthony Robertson after a pickup of 6. Back to Finnemore for just a brief second here, Brett. He is averaging, through his first 5 seasons, roughly a little over 4 touchdowns a season. So really behind the 8 ball as far as touchdowns go. But like you said, the yards have come his way in bunches, well on his way to surpassing a career best in that regard, as Hollywood gets another short carry, and McFly is there to greet him.
Yeah, and then flipping it to the other side of the field, if Charleston is going to win this game, it's going to start by defense. No winning championship team can boast a 40.4 points against average per game. That needs to improve here tonight.
Third down upcoming here for Atlanta. Split backfield versus a 4-3 look out of Charleston as they send 5-man in the rush. Pass over the middle. Caught. Why not Arlette? Why not get the catch, Mr. Arlette? That's another first down for Atlanta. They're just outside the red zone.
And what we've seen a lot, in this small sample that we've had this season is that tight ends are more and more wide open this season. You can see it right there. The linebackers have more decisions to make, whether to guard on the flats with the receiver or go with the tight end. And most of the time they're going receiver, which is leaving that tight end wide open. And Arlette has done a great job this season in making himself open for Dynasty.
Maybe that's BDG's theme music playing as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Unfortunately, it's Khalil Thomas's theme music as they get stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and this is what Charleston needs to do here is they need to stop at least one side of the football to get Atlanta kind of guessing here. Dynasty has been improving, but that 60 QBR through, the first 5 games says otherwise as well.
Pass right side intended for Finnemore. That's incomplete. Third down.
Yeah, and what Dynasty needs to do here is that he needs to keep himself composed. He knows that his offensive line needs to help him out a little bit here, but he doesn't have to throw these quick throws. Trust in his receivers to get open at the right time and get himself some completions.
Second, third down of the drive. Finnemore in motion. It's 3rd and 10 from the 24-yard line. 4-man rush. Dynasty rolling. Pressure behind. Into the end zone, and it's tipped away by Sam Blotner.
That's fantastic patience from Dynasty, like I was saying earlier, just to find this open man. But Charleston did a fantastic job turning one-on-one coverage into 3-on-1 coverage, and then Big Sam Blotner getting his hands on that football and forcing Atlanta into a field goal situation here.
Here's a 41-yard field goal attempt from Sammy Steele. The kick is up, and it is good from 41. That's our first point to the ball game. It is 3-0 Atlanta. If you're new to this Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your player today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. Click the Join the Community button to begin your career or just to meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. It's never too late to get involved. Turn here for Ricky Spider gets all the way to the 33-yard line and no further. So we'll get our first look at the quarterback for Charleston, John Lakeman.
And Lakeman has had plenty of activity through these first 5 games here. He's leading the league in attempts and yards, but he's got to be careful. His erratic throws have resulted in 10 interceptions through the first 5 games.
And near side, and there is Nick Hoagland, who has really turned up his production a notch in the last few weeks.
Yeah, and they're going to need the running attack from all 3 backs that they have out there, including Saren Storm and the fullback Terrell Sutherland, to really keep defenses guessing. And it's a good start by getting Hoagland involved, who is the leading running back in this core.
Second and short now. They come out in a heavy split back look. Another handoff, this time to the fullback Terrell Sutherland, and Sutherland taken down maybe a half a yard shy by Sean Allen, the former Fury.
And right now, Charleston's trying to rely on those outside stretch tosses and trust in the decision-making of the running backs to get those extra yards. So far, 2 plays, 9.5 yards, not too bad.
Another split back look. Seen him go to both tailbacks here on their opening 2 plays. They'll go back to Sutherland, near side pitch, and it works out for him. That's another first down as the whistles blow before he gets taken down, and oh no! Sutherland is down and out.
And that is a big bruising fullback that is needed in a game like this where 2 teams are looking to create, identities in the standings. And when you're 1 running back down, someone's got to step up. And I think Nick Hoagland could be the guy because he is a former fullback in himself, and they still have 2 fullbacks to choose from. So be careful between those 2 backs to see where they go.
Now from their own 40-yard line, Hoagland on the pitch play. Nice little juke move, and it's another 5 yards as the run game continues to rumble. Let's introduce you to the rest of the Charleston offense, and there is a bunch of them. Of course, we mentioned Hoagland, Lakeman, and Sutherland, halfback, quarterback, and fullback respectively. The second halfback is Saren Storm. Wide receivers are Benjamin Warner, Anas Adobe, Davis Reed, and Ricky Spider. Tight ends, Brian Murphy, Liam Trees, and Romeo June, as Hoagland gets a call again, 3-yard carry brought down by Sean Allen. And on the line, it's a fearsome 5-some. DeBrickshaw Molyneux, Finley James, St. Nebuchadnezzar, Leroy James, and Lamarcus Jamarcus IV Jr.
5 straight plays, 5 straight outside runs. Now they're changing the formation. We finally have a single back here.
And up the middle, Hoagland, first down, picks up about maybe 4 or 5 yards to move the sticks.
And this is the reason why teams have started to sign more than 2 backs in their team now. You're going to have, teams that have 3 or 4 running backs to choose from. So in the occasion someone steps down, someone else can step in and take advantage of a situation at hand.
Keep the single back look and put Saren Storm out in the field. In reserve for Hoagland. Lakeman, first pass of the game, is on target. Right to Benjamin Warner. That's 9.5.
That almost looked like an overthrow from Lakeman as well, but Benjamin Warner has those unsuspecting long arms that comes in, reaches over his head, and gets a nice secure catch, which now brings it a 2nd and inches.
Both teams stacking the box. 10 men in the box for Atlanta to try and counter this heavy split back look. Backup fullback, the man in motion. They'll try up the gut with Hoagland, and again they'll convert. Here on a short yardage situation, and Hoagland getting the bulk of the workload here on a long drive.
Yeah, and I think Charleston's doing a fantastic job controlling the clock as well in this possession too, because they're forcing Atlanta's defense to get more tired and tired as things move along.
9th play of the drive upcoming. Pitch play for Hoagland. Hoagland gets a few blocks, gets out of a tackle, is finally brought down by Chris Henry. 6 more yards to the tally for Hoagland, and that line is getting a really good push up front.
Yeah, it's a really good push, which, led to a really good run from Hoagland, but it wasn't just the line. It was just sheer will and determination to keep pushing forward from Hollywood Hulk Hoagland to get himself forward.
Give the call, backup tailback, and he will continue to try and rumble forward. Another first down for Charleston as pass. Well, that's kind of odd. A running back named Pass there, Brett.
Yeah, and he kind of didn't have a straight and narrow path to get himself, through. He had a little bit of a serpentine pattern, but he still found his way. And again, it's just pushing that clock even more and getting another first down. Again, look at the split backs formations. We have seen this a lot in this drive.
Pass in the backfield, blitz coming, and the pressure nearly forces an interception. It bounces off the hands of Chris Henry. 2nd down.
And it looked like it was going to head towards Brian Murphy there, but that was very much, maybe an inexperienced throw, inexperienced rush from Lakeman, because that pass was not going to be even close to Murphy, even if he tried.
Second and 10 after the deflection. Reds find themselves down by 3 late on in the first quarter. Lakeman looking. That one is hauled in by Benjamin Warner, and he tumbles forward near the goal line. And that will bring up first and goal.
And that wasn't that wasn't an easy catch to begin with there, because he is against his stride trying to catch it on his opposite side hip. That is a tough catch to go to. And again, that comes with, the inexperience that Lakeman maybe has with his receivers. But Warner kind of saves him a little bit there, and it's first down and goal for the Predators.
This has been a long drive. Play number 13. It's already gone around 65 yards. Can they punch it in from 2 yards out? No. Pass gets stood up behind the line. That'll lose about 3 yards.
Yeah, and that one was a no-brainer there. Once the handoff happened, you saw right in front was that defender to stop him right on his tracks. Second and goal from now about the 4-yard line.
Credit Diamond Blackwell sneaking up through the gap to bring down pass. Another heavy eye look, this time fullback. It's Hoagland. Hoagland having to fight off multiple defenders, did well enough to get back to the line of scrimmage. An excellent clogging of the holes by the Atlanta defense. Jack Napier is the one to eventually finish off Hoagland.
Basically just an all-out blitz from Atlanta, and that's what you need to do for a run-heavy team like Charleston that has been showing a lot of runs so far. So this is a good decision from Atlanta here. Now look at this, shotgun formation at the 4-yard line.
Drop even further back, now looking into the end zone, and Warner can't haul it in. 4 defenders in the area, and it falls incomplete, and that'll bring out the field goal unit.
Yeah, it's one of those, biscuit for your biscuit kind of throws from John Lakeman again. This time he was just trying to thread the needle, but when you have Diamond Blackwell as well as what looked to be a bevy of Atlanta defenders there, turning a 1-on-1 to a 1-on-3, that's going to be a tough pinhole to try to sink that football through. So great job again, goal line defense really standing through for Atlanta.
Snap. A little wayward, but it is up and good from Brad Brechik. Short chip shot. Results in a tie game, 3-3 here in South Carolina. For all the league highlights, photo galleries, major and minor league stats and leaderboards, community content, and so much more, check out the league website at simulationfl.net, presented by Football Shift. Stay up to date and explore our past, present, and future, and I promise I won't step over your words this time, Brian.
Well, it was just a long drive from Charleston to really tire out that defense. You saw it earlier. 5.5 minutes on that drive. Atlanta's going to have to respond in kind here as they get good field position here from Kyle Finnemore's return.
A solid return up to the 34-yard line. So both teams start off the ball game with drives over 10 plays apiece. So it seems like these defenses are going to have to get a little bit stiffer sooner if they didn't want to see some tight ball game.
Yeah, Atlanta has a more balanced approach here so far in that first drive. 5 passes, 5 runs, whereas Charleston was really run heavy. We'll see if Atlanta responds in kind, because I think they have the better running back out of this whole 2 teams here.
Hollywood on the toss. Nearly got the stiff arm to work, but no dice that time as he's brought down by a duo of Predators.
And you have to think from a Charleston standpoint, they're really keying in on BDG Hollywood so he doesn't have a repeat performance from his last game there. If he gets anything over 150 yards, it's going to be advantage Atlanta throughout this game.
Hollywood again on the call. He's trying to fight forward, and he rolls over Khalil Thomas for a few extra yards. Gonna bring up 3rd and short.
And Charleston's done a great job in response to any of these run plays happening so far. It's only been about 24 yards through these first 7 run plays, which is, I would say, pretty respectable numbers so far.
Hollywood again, third straight play, and he will sneak through somehow a pod of Preds for a first down.
Yeah, and that's just the veteran presence, the veteran, awareness of BDG Hollywood to get to that first down.
That will take us to the end of the first quarter. It's as we were to start the ball game, just with 2 crooked numbers up there. It's 3-3, tie ball game from Charleston and Robert Small Memorial Stadium. Week 7 of the SFL continues right here on YouTube. And we welcome you back here to Charleston, South Carolina. Tyler Falk alongside Brett Solberg. Here in the booth, a special thanks to Jacob Clear and the Stats Truck, keeping us sound and smart as more often as we can.
Ooh.
And the pitch to BDG, stopped behind the line, but BDG's legs keep moving. Gino McFly unable to stop BDG from a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, nobody touched McFly, so as soon as that toss happened, I think he maybe had a chance to intercept that toss, but maybe was a little too late on that. But like you said, BDG does a good job to at least get to the line.
5th play of the drive, 5th run, and BDG somehow gets 2 more yards. Him and McFly going hammer and tongue out here.
Yeah, and we know that McFly is that leader in the linebacking core between, Jack Brown and John Tana and Khalil Thomas. We see him more often than not, but he's really, putting a target on the back, or on the front, I should say, of BDG Hollywood.
This time they will throw for the first time in the drive. Bryant Dynasty.
Oh!
But he fumbled the football, and Khalil Thomas jumps on it. Predators have the football.
Now that one could be ticky-tack. It all depends on what you see from your own standpoint. But the rollout from Dynasty had a wide open Kyle Finnemore, and did he have a proper securement of the football? I would say he did. He had his 2 feet down, but this is still a wise decision to challenge that play. We'll see the replay here in a moment.
And so Mark Chisholm will throw out the red hanky, and we will take a retroactive look at the play presented by Retroid. Get your SFL console at GoRetroid.com.
And the main thing here you want to see is, did he have 2 feet down while in possession? He has at least one, but on that catch, did that back foot have that fully down motion? Because then they would consider it as 2. Let's hear it from the referee.
And he's rolled an incomplete pass. However, for Charleston's defense, it was on 3rd down, so they do force a punt out of Atlanta. No turnover, but they should get the ball.
Yeah, it's just going to be a little bit of a deeper position. And again, I think it's just a wise decision from Mark Chisholm to throw that flag, because now they have a chance to really, pin Charleston deep on this.
That's Kyle Finnemore back to punt for Atlanta. He's doing everything tonight. Here comes the return from Ricky Spider. He gets the return up to the 21-yard line, but I was expecting something different with Finnemore back in the backfield.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that he's doing double duty here tonight, doing both punting and, sometimes you would see this out of like a social media post to say, hey, something special is happening. We saw this in week 2 when we saw one of the wide receivers for Motor City play as the second quarterback, but not this time.
Pass over the middle, caught. First down yardage for the tight end, Brian Murphy.
And Murphy has done spectacular work here this season. He is clear-cut the #1 tight end out of the group that also has Romeo June in there as well, but 282 yards and 2 touchdowns through the first 5 games for Charleston is pretty good numbers for a tight end.
They're wide here. On the second play of the drive, Atlanta again will send 5. Pressure coming from the middle, and Sean Allen gets home. It's a sack and a loss of 5.
Yeah, and I keyed in on Atlanta's offensive line having troubles to protect Bryant Dynasty, But Charleston has also had similar troubles to protect John Lakeman as well. That's the 10th time now this season that Lakeman has been shaken to the ground despite Lakeman's success through the air this season.
7th season in the league for Shot Allen, and that is career sack number 1 for Shot Allen. Congratulations.
Wow.
As Charleston go back to the air with a 5 wide receiver set. That one's picked off. Back the other way. Inside the 25. It's Moose Papineau.
And it's in a formation that we hadn't seen all game so far from Charleston. An empty backfield with 5 receivers, and Atlanta was ready for it. Too many receivers on that middle left side for Lakeman to throw against. And Papineau was ready to go, had his hands on the football, and now Atlanta has a great opportunity to make Charleston pay.
And so here come the Swarm offense in fantastic field position from Charleston's 21-yard line after the interception. BDG on the give, near side, 3-yard pickup. He is stopped right around the 18-yard line.
Yeah, and if we know anything about teams that love to be run heavy, is that they're going to stay persistent through this game to try to get that running back involved. We see it a lot in Denver with Bailey O'Shaughnessy, and I should expect the same here with BDG Hollywood, despite him only getting a couple yards per carry here.
And off again, BDG, and he will gain maybe a yard on the play. Khalil Thomas brings him down.
Again, these linebackers have a target on the back and the front of BDG Hollywood so that he has little chance to get himself, some traction moving forward, and they've done a great job on that.
Wide here on 3rd down. 5-man rush for the Predator defense. Here they come. Dynasty got it away, and it's wanted away. Incomplete. The defense holds strong. Sam Blotner comes up with a deflection, and Atlanta will be forced to bring out the field goal unit.
And again, we saw this in the last time that Atlanta had a chance to throw in the end zone, and Blotner deflected that. He has been that end zone defender for Charleston to prevent 6 points. And again, on 3rd down, he gets a key deflection.
Yep, spot kick is up, and it is good. 2 for 2 on the night for Sammy Steele, and that gives Atlanta a 3-point lead again.
Yeah, back and forth kicks so far from these two teams here, which is really showing great defense once they start to get packed in a corner between these two. We've seen a bunch of red zone opportunities between these two teams, and all that's happened so far has been field goals.
They're underway again. Steele just sends it deep back to the end zone. Ricky Spider was taken E. And so we will see John Lakeman and company retake the field, and it's a quick few seconds of rest on the sideline before he trots back out there after throwing the interception.
Yeah, just not a lot of plays done from Atlanta there, but they only had 51 seconds of time themselves on their drive, so they didn't have a lot of energy to, get rid of on that.
Lakeman dumps it out for Hoagland out of the back of Hoagland. Turns upfield. Hoagland is still going past the 40-yard line. Hoagland on a play that looked dead in the water picks up big yardage.
How about turning chicken you-know-what into chicken salad from Nick Hoagland, because that looked like dead to rights, maybe a 1-yard play at most, and it's just the sheer will and determination of Hoagland to keep pushing forward, staying on the sidelines. Very agile work from the big bruising former fullback turned running back to get 20 yards.
That's a great confidence booster for a young quarterback. It's a swing pass to go more than 10 yards, and the drive starts out very well for his Predator offense. We'll touch on the Atlanta defense in full here in just a moment. As a delayed handoff.
Oh boy.
And Saren Storm. That defense wants to be introduced now as Shot Allen, along with the Swarm, come down onto him. Take him down for a loss of 2. Let's get to that Atlanta defense, shall we? BRV, Billy Ray Valentine, Joshua Williams, Leo Jefferson, and Mickey Gibson are the linemen, with Sean Allen, Cree Higgins, and Diamond Blackwell the linebackers. Jack Napier and Jay Miraculous are the corners. Moose Papineau, Grant Hardaway, and Chris Henry are the safeties. And that pass is nearly picked off for the second straight drive in a row.
Yeah, and right now Atlanta's starting to try to figure some things out, but it's really not. Charleston's trying to figure some stuff out, but it's really not working. They want to push themselves forward, but it's the adaptation, the adaptability from Atlanta to kind of change things on ahead here. Charleston hasn't had a lot of offense going since they kicked that field goal to tie the game earlier.
3rd and long. Lakeman now with trips to his right. 4-man rush. Lakeman, middle, caught. Great athleticism to turn it around and find the ball. Brian Murphy.
And again, if you're looking to toss that football, throw in a high spot where your tight end is. He's going to have the long arms. He's usually the bigger body out there deep in the field, and that's a good option to go to. Lakeman just keys it in right to Murphy's hands. Murphy didn't have to jump too high. Great catch.
So now from the opposite side of midfield, Predators continue to go to work on offense. Hoagland up the middle, met by Cree Higgins. Gets a little extra help from Diamond Blackwell at the line of scrimmage.
And those inside runs have worked earlier, maybe in the first quarter. But there you see the adaptability of Atlanta. They've been shutting down that middle run so far in this second quarter.
Back to pass. Lakeman pumps once, and he should have gotten rid of it. Leo Jefferson comes up with Atlanta's second sack of the ball game.
Yeah, and that's just demoralizing. Whenever you move forward down the field and your quarterback just gets hit a couple plays later on this, and it was just a great job swimming through the offensive lineman Leo Jefferson did, and he was right in front of Lakeman. Lakeman could have maybe tossed that, but I don't think there was an open receiver, so he had to take the sack.
Nine sacks for Lakeman coming into the ball game. Now has 2 more tonight. Middle, caught in between traffic. How did Honest Adobe come up with that one? A big time catch for a huge gain.
And that's a no-nonsense catch from Adobe as well. Just trusting on his hands after he sees that ball heading his way from Lakeman. Great laser pass to him as well. And it just looked like there was a chance for Papineau to get himself his second interception of the game, but he was a little bit too far to the right, and Adobe gets himself a big catch, and again, Charleston find themselves in the red zone.
Now from just inside the red zone, Lakeman to roll. 6-man rush, they'll just dump it off near side to Davius Reed out of the backfield, and Reed will pick up 7 yards. A little trickery coming out of this Charleston offense.
And this is what I love about, these new things that you see this season, is that you're going to see players in positions that you usually don't see them before, like Davius Reed from the backfield getting a dump-off pass to see what he can get. And there you go, 7 yards.
And off. Up the middle. Nothing doing. Maybe a loss of 1 from pass. Just joining us, he is taking over for Terrell Sutherland, who went down on the 3rd play of their offensive possession.
And right now, aside from that one play that we saw earlier that had him snake his way through a first down, pass hasn't been too effective as a replacement, but they've done a good job getting Hoagland involved a little bit more in replacement.
And on 3rd down, oh, what a snag! Benjamin Warner, how do you do, son? 1st and goal, Predators.
Yeah, and that was after stumbling around a little bit here, maybe off his route a bit, and that forced maybe Lakeman to overthrow him just a bit there. And I'll say right now, that's a pretty nice catch.
That is a nice catch, and I'll claim it. That's the nice hands catch of the game, brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game with your player in it. SFL 4K23. 1st and goal here for Charleston from the 3-yard line. Handoff up the middle. Hoagland lengths shy as Hoagland, reenacting his old fullback days, nearly got the tutty.
Well, that man didn't say his prayers and take his vitamins, brother. Nick Hoagland just inches away from the end zone.
Well, we'll see if they can punch it in here from just the length of a football way out. Pitch play. Hoagland,
easy.
No one's there. That's the first touchdown of the ball game and the first lead for Charleston tonight.
If it doesn't work the first time, just try and try again. And Hoagland has been an integral part of the running offense for Charleston. And in part, this should be his reward here. A nice open field run, just inch himself through and get Charleston the lead.
And for so long, partner, they tried going up the gut, up the gut, up the gut. They hit him outside. The wide receivers on the near side get a good push about 5 yards deep into the end zone. Hoagland untouched. Easy 1 yard score on a 12-play, 80-yard drive. And look how much time they took off the clock. It is now 10-6. Charleston Predators. And if you're liking the game so far, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year. There is no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action and help the channel grow through your support. Here comes Finnemore on the return. Got a nice block, but is eventually taken down at the 28-yard line. And for the first time tonight, we head back to SFL headquarters from a game break from the SFL Commissioner, Cameron Irvine.
Thank you, Tyler. Baltimore in Motor City tonight, and the V8s are all over the Vultures early. Vultures had a 48-yard field goal doinked off the post from Shark Tarkington, and Motor City's offense is rolling 14-0 in the second quarter over Baltimore. Back to you in Charleston.
Thank you, Cam. 10-6 here in Charleston. I formation here on the first play of the drive here from Dynasty & Co. Hand off to BDG, left side. He shimmies and shakes his way for 5 yards.
Yeah, and I shouldn't say Dynasty. BDG hasn't had a lot of big runs yet. So far, as long as it's been 6 yards through this first 2 quarters here.
See if they can pick it up as we continue through the game. 2-minute warning here in the first half. This, the SFL, presented by 8 p.m. Music on YouTube. Through the first 5 games, BDG has been averaging about 4 yards a carry. Currently tonight, after 13 attempts, he's only averaging 3.2. A heavy offside look on the near side, and they probably shouldn't have motioned met away from where BDG was going to run, and that cost Atlanta a couple yards.
Took the words right out of my mouth, because that was just an absolute attack from the Charleston defense on Atlanta's left side, and nobody was there after they had that motion from left to right.
Dynasty to look to throw on third down. They try and go underneath,
Ooh.
and it's off the foot of Chisholm, nearly into the breadbasket of Jack Brown. It's incomplete. Out comes the punting unit.
And let's just say right now, that wasn't a great drive from Atlanta at all, because you had a second down opportunity and they pushed you back a couple yards. And how do you respond with that? You go with a short pass, hoping to get a first down. That's not the drive that Atlanta wanted on this 2-minute warning.
On his way, it's a very nice punt. Atlanta, as Spider gets the return up to the 32-yard line. That is where Charleston will have a shot to tack on some more points. They also get the ball to start the second half, so it could really be, in terms of a different kind of football, a 6-pointer.
Yeah, and right now for me, if I'm head coach Jacob Clear, I'm looking at this as a 2-for-1 situation. You use this lax buck 25 to get any points you can, even if it's a field goal, and then use that next drive in the third quarter to get yourself a touchdown.
Hoagland on the give, right side. Tried to spin away from Chris Henry and could not. 2-yard pickup.
Yeah, it's 2 yards to start things off here, and they are starting to hustle a little bit down. They're changing formations, and it looks like they have 3 receivers ready So this might be a pass play to kind of change the pace here.
Instead, they will pitch it with Reed out of the backfield, and Reed will pick up maybe a yard. It'll bring up third down. And I'm not choosing to use any timeouts because it looks like Charleston is trying to get out of here with a 4-point lead before half.
See, I don't know if I would have made that decision as a head coach. I love being aggressive, and I've said that many times. And this is the aggression that I want to see here. 5 receivers on third down.
After running it twice, they go to the air. Lakeman, middle, into coverage. Incomplete, looking for Reed. A flag flies. We go to the ref.
Oh, man.
They will tag Jack Napier with PI, and that'll put Charleston across midfield and close to field goal range.
And the league has been calling these pass interferences closer and closer these days. Very tough decision to make, but it is indeed not a football play. He was going for the player, not the ball, and that's where you see that pass interference.
From just inside Atlanta's 40, the Predator offense comes back to work. Reed is the deep man in the backfield again here for Charleston. Throw out Lakeman. He's going to look to throw right side, caught near the sticks. It is a first down to the 29-yard line, and they will call a timeout. And so after maybe not getting anything, now they're in field goal range.
Yeah, just one call that goes your way turns nothing into potentially something for them. Now in field goal range for Brad Bretchett. They could shed the clock if they want, but with this timeout that they called, they're looking for blood.
Adobe with a couple of nice catches tonight. That's number 2 for him this evening. Lakeman to throw, wobbler over the middle, and Papanow couldn't make it his second interception of the night, but does knock the ball free. And it brings up second down with 24 ticks to go in the first half.
Now the question was that directed towards Murphy or was that directed towards Reed? Because if it was for either or, it's either overthrown or underthrown.
Empty backfield for Lakeman. On second down, they still have 2 timeouts. Lakeman to throw again, looking into coverage.
Man.
It's bobbled, and it bobbled again, and Grant Hardaway can't finish it off. And the second straight pass, which hit the arms of an Atlanta player, falls to the green turf.
And that's the risk that you get with John Lakeman under center. He's going to have those risky throws. That's why he's got 10 interceptions this season, but we have to look at it on the flip side. There's another reason why he has 9 passing touchdowns so far this season as well.
5 wide again. Third down, quick hitter underneath, and that might have been the smart play. Throw it in the area of a receiver, but don't risk an interception. That will set up a field goal attempt here from Bretchen.
And honestly, I think Lakeman kind of rushed it there because he wasn't getting any pressure. I would say any immediate pressure from the defensive line of Atlanta. He could have maybe gone through his progressions one more time. Instead, he kind of throws it away. But nonetheless, they have a chance to get this game to a full touchdown here.
46-yard attempt. It's hooking inside, and it is good from 46. Brad Bretchen 2 for 2 on the night. And it's a 7-point lead for Charleston.
Yeah, that's a good lead to have heading into the locker room here, but can Atlanta do something with 13 ticks left on the clock here in this first half? We don't know. Anything can happen on just one play.
We've seen a couple of crazy special teams plays, not to mention a bunch of kick return touchdowns. We'll see what Kyle Finnemore can pull off. He waits just outside his own end zone. Up to the 20-yard line, looking for space near midfield, but he's eventually brought down at his own 27-yard line by Martin. The offense will trot to the field with 8 seconds to go. See what they do, whether or not they be aggressive or be content down by 7.
And at this stage, looking at this formation here, I wouldn't be too surprised if they just hand it off, especially the outside. I'm looking maybe right outside handoff to BDG here, maybe to just get this going to the halftime whistle here.
Edge play, Hollywood, left side. One man falls away. Hollywood
Watch
taking
out.
away again. And he's finally brought down at the 45-yard line. His best run of the night comes as the clock hits triple zeros to end the half.
Yeah, and you had 5 defenders in pursuit of Hollywood, and he still finds his way to the first down marker easily. His best run of the day, but is a little too late, too little too late, as Charleston will head into halftime with a 7-point lead.
13-6, Charleston on top. A team that has lost 4 straight coming into the ball game is currently beating the team that won last week after losing 4 straight to open the season. What do we make of this first half here, Brett?
A great turnaround defensively from Charleston in this first half. Only 96 yards of total offense for Atlanta through the first 2 quarters. That is something to sniff at here, because we are seeing a league that, gets themselves, 200 yards per half, and you can cut that team in half and force them to kick 2 field goals. That is huge. And the big thing is that Charleston isn't really trying to overforce things. There, maybe some forced passes from Lakeman, but it hasn't been anything too incredibly risky, which has resulted in this 7-point lead.
Scott Allen becomes your player of the half. Got his first career sack in the first half. Rightly deserves player of the game honor, or player of the half honor, excuse me. We're not done yet. Another half to go here on the return to Friday football here in Charleston, South Carolina, in Robert Small Stadium. Errol Sutherland, an update on his injury. Back spasms is the call, and he will remain on the sideline for the rest of the game. Really isn't too much of a terrible blow just yet. Hoagland is deputized well, returning to his old fullback spot, but does take a wrinkle out of Charleston's game plan. As we welcome you back to the second half, here from Charleston, South Carolina, Tyler Falk and Brett Solberg on the call. Jacob Clear is the man in the stats truck, and our commissioner and Cameron Irvine is producing every single SFL game as we are underway to begin the second half of the first block of games to begin week 7 here in the SFL. A very loaded weekend of games, Brett. 13 games on the slate. This is just day 1 of 4. Can you believe it?
Yeah, and we still have a lot of games left to go. We have Baltimore Motor City playing currently right now in Detroit. We still got Portland, Vancouver, heated division matchup, and then we also have an underrated matchup, if I say so myself, Seattle and Las Vegas, 10:30 Eastern. That is probably going to be the game of the night, in my opinion.
Well, we'll see what happens as I take a teleporter down to Vegas after spending time over here on the East Coast, as Hoagland gets the first call of the half. Gains maybe 2, is met by Blackwell.
Yeah, and the thing I didn't get to mention about Charleston is they've done a fantastic job as well keeping possession of the football. We're talking about 2 huge possessions that took over 10 minutes of the play clock themselves there. So Charleston's done a great job in this half securing the ball.
Oh, another call. He breaks
man.
free. He's down the sideline and finally wrapped up by Jack Napier inside the Atlanta 40 and number 40. A solid run again.
Fee, fi, fo, fum, brother. The Hollywood Hulk Hoagland does it again.
And this time he just uses his strength. He didn't have much blocking himself, so he used a mixture of speed and agility and strength to keep moving forward easily. His best run of the day so far as well. Knock him down for 30.
Hoagland is really turning up the production. Last couple of weeks has gotten closer and closer and over 100 yards in a couple of ball games. Gets the call up the middle. This time he goes backward a yard.
Yeah, they're really trusting on Hoagland to really set the momentum offensively, and he has come to task so far. 62 yards on 15 carries so far. I'd say that's a pretty good day in the office for Nick Hoagland there.
$99 yards against Queen City. 3rd game of their season. Pressure coming. Lakeman throws and somehow threads the needle to Warner.
And that is a bullet pass to Warner as well, knowing that the pressure was quite literally right beside him, so he had to sling that football, and there was an open target. Warner, nice job on getting rid of the football.
shoved 9 men in the box and
Watch
sends a
out.
blitz. Lakeby doesn't see it coming,
Ooh.
but he gets hit by one and taken down for the second time tonight by Leo Jefferson. Sack total number 3 for this defense.
Yeah, and it looked like there were 7 in the box there for Atlanta, and they were all hungry eyes for Lakeman, including the one linebacker there, which left an open opportunity after shedding his blocker of Leo Jefferson, getting sack number 2 in this game, and more importantly, pushing Charleston back further, probably way out of Brad Wretched's range now.
Just outside the range, unfortunately for Charleston, a clutch sack from Jefferson. And here's the punt from Eric Blueberry. His first punt of the ball game. That's going to drop at the 1 and then roll into the end zone. That'll be down for a touchback. Now available free to download, you can play SFL video game on the go with the Retroid Pocket 3 Plus, an emulator for 4K23 right in the palm of your hand. Order your Retroid today at GoRetroid.com. Search SFL and download our mod at simulationfl.net/4K23. Retroid, the official console of the SFL, and the play action pass nearly ends up in the awaiting arms of John Stamango.
And look at this as a stat so far as well. Bryant Dynasty is now 2 of 9 in passing so far. That's got to give credit to the Charleston secondary in stifling any opportunity that Dynasty has had in the pocket.
Dynasty is roughly averaging around 65% completion percentage this season. This has not been his night. What that pass was, he flips it over the top for Boo Chisholm for a gain of 9.
I said Boo earns.
Third and 1 after Booerns gets 9 yards. Split backfield here on 3rd and short. 7:10 to go here in the third quarter. Handoff BDG through the middle. He sneaks away from one. He's taken down finally by Mark Martin and company. Another first down for the green helmeted BDG.
Yeah, in a close down situation, you go with old reliable BDG, and he's done it so many times in his career. He's the best to do it, I would say, in my personal opinion, and he just does it again. Another quick and easy first down like it was nothing for him.
First and 10 after the Hollywood run. Again get the call, but he stood up in the backfield. Khalil Thomas. Yeah, you better be jumping for joy. You got to the most dangerous back in SFL history behind the line.
And again, it's just about stifling BDG, not giving him an opportunity to really break through. He's only had that one long run to end the half of 19 yards, but aside from that, what has he had? 6-7 yards at the most for him?
Handoff, BDG on the give, and he gains 6. Thomas brings him down for the second straight play.
Yeah, and for a team that trusts so much in their running back and having him neutralized to very little yards per carry, it forces the hand of Atlanta to really pass the football here on these third downs. We'll see what they do here on 3rd and 5.
5-man rush. Pass, middle, deflected away by Thomas, involved in the last 3 plays. And it's another deflection for this Charleston defense. That's their 7th of the game.
And again, another big deflection on 3rd down, forcing Atlanta to do what they didn't want to do here. Now, Atlanta's 3 of 8 on 3rd down conversions.
Out comes the punter here for the Swarm. Spider back deep to return. He'll haul it in at the 29 and try to make a return. He's tackled right at the 30-yard line, only a gain of 1 as Nelson brings him down. And out comes Charleston here, partner. And these Predators, who have throughout their first 5 games have scored 20 or more points through every single game. They currently sit at 13. Not a whole lot of productivity tonight, but they see themselves in the lead.
No, and they're seeing themselves in a defensive standoff right now, but if they can use this drive to kind of break themselves a little bit free from this Atlanta team, it's going to do wonders heading into the 4th quarter.
Play Hoagland. He bounces off another tackle after picking up 4 yards. We'll finish off with 5.
Yeah, and again, there's all this praise that we're giving to Nick Hoagland here, and rightfully so. He has set the momentum for this Charleston offense, which has led to great successes and long drives for the Predators. They really want to take care of this time of possession game.
Take a look at the numbers there. Nearly more than half his yards have come after contact. It shows the strength of the tailback. His pass, the backup for Terrell Sutherland, gets the call up the middle, and that gains minimal yardage.
Yeah, and for Atlanta, what they need to do is they need to push back, which they've done pretty decent so far, but they are down 7 in this game. 13 points is a good defensive game so far, but in a game where points seem to be precious, they need to push back.
Just past the halfway mark as Lakeman rolls to his left, fires across his body, and then is caught by a Toby on third down. He has become Mr. Reliable tonight on third down.
Yeah, you want to talk about, third down efficiencies. We spoke of 3 of 8 for Atlanta. How about 7 of 10 for Charleston here on third down, which has been so crucial in a game of inches.
And all 3 of his receptions, partner, have come on third down, being the go-to man for Lakeman here on these rollout passes. That brings up another first down here for Charleston. The defensive line tries to expect an outside run, but Hoagland gets 5 yards. Let's talk about that block from the wide out there.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a dead play right at the line of scrimmage, but he came in with that last second block. Full credit to the old lineman to get himself there just in the nick of time to turn 0 into 5 yards.
Tight end look out of Charleston at the 4-minute mark of the third quarter. They'll pitch it to pass near side. Got a couple of blocks.
And
pass
another great
inside the 30-yard line. And this running game continues to hum along.
Yeah, and it seems like the outside run has been the bread and butter for Charleston, and it's one of those butters where you can't believe it's butter because they're just smoothing their way through on that outside so well, and that is that's helped them sustain drives for such long periods of time through this game.
Davius Reed in the backfield gets the pitch left side. He gets out of a tackle and then is eventually busted asunder by Moose Papineau.
That's Moose
with
coming
the
in.
antlers.
Yeah, I was going to say, coming out with the antlers there to really push him down. That's an angry Moose, I would say, because Atlanta's defense has done a great job to keep this in a game where Atlanta's offense has kind of been a little shoddy so far.
From the 30-yard line, blitz coming from the weak side. Pitch play left side. There's Storm.
Oh, my
who's
God.
upfield, and Saren Storm tight ropes the sideline and picks up a Charleston first down.
We saw Nick Hoagland do this early in the second quarter to get himself a big 20-yard gain on a dump pass. And now Saren Storm's getting himself a first down by slinking his way through 2 defenders and getting himself 13 yards, now inching themselves closer inside the red zone.
First down will be a pitch for Hogan left side. He's got defenders chasing him, and he still goes forward. And that is 9 3/4 yards for Big Nick Hoagland.
And man, you can't tell me that this Charleston Predators team doesn't have the strongest running back core in this league. With examples like this, you see Nick Hoagland just keep carrying himself after the first hit and turn basically 1 yard into 9.9.
Second and a sliver. Pitch play pass, trying to go through the middle. The defense is there this time. In fact, it was there, but not strong enough. Pass will be credited with a first down.
Yeah, they're going to be generous on this one here, giving him first and goal, because that looked like he was still 6 inches away from the line. But nonetheless, Charleston has now 3 plays to get to the end zone.
And no challenge from Atlanta's side of the field. Hoagland on the pitch play near side, and 140 takes out another 40.
That's a big hit, too, from Sean Allen, because if he wasn't there, Hoagland's got an easy pass to the end zone. So great pushback from Atlanta to start things off, but now it's 2nd and goal inside the 5, almost inside the 2 at this point.
Goal line O versus goal line D. They try and go up the middle with pass. Pass is in, and that's a touchdown for Charleston. The running game in full effect and in full display as the Predators extend their lead.
Yeah, that's just, again, fantastic blocking from the offensive line as well as any tight ends and receivers being there as well on the same side. You can see Hoagland trying to find a blocker. One of the James brothers gets himself in there as well on that right side to help out pass, and that is the separation that Charleston has wanted for the last 10 minutes of this game. They can now break this lead into 2 full possessions.
I think this is the biggest difference right now in the 2 teams right here, Brett. There are 5 different players on Charleston's side of the field that have carries tonight, and it's really thrown Atlanta into a game planning nightmare trying to contain all 5 backs.
Absolutely. And you bring in Davius Reed with that as well, being that 5th back. It brings nightmares to what Atlanta has to plan in order to stop these running backs.
Siege Falco on his first return to the ballgame. It's a good one. He angles it near side.
That's what they need.
Edge, inside the 45. He's past the 50 and eventually brought out of bounds at the 44-yard line. And that might swing some momentum back in Atlanta's favor.
And that's Siege Falco cawing at his team saying, wake up, guys. We're starting to lose by 2 possessions here, and we have made such great progress over the last couple weeks to improve that offense, but right now only have 6 points to their name, 2.5 quarters in, so something's got to give, and it starts with great field position here.
We flew down the sideline. He will set him up in plus territory at the Charleston 44-yard line. Three wide receiver look out of Atlanta to begin the drive. They will run with Hollywood, who hurdles over Boo Chisholm, and he's eventually taken down by Sam Blotner after a pickup of 7.
Yeah, and if anybody needs to wake up the most on that Atlanta offense, I would have to say it's BDG. Like we've said throughout this game, he's only had 1 big run in this game, but they need a big run out of him, like a bigger run, get himself to the end zone so that Atlanta can wake up here.
Second and short pitch play. BDG, who's being shadowed by Khalil Thomas, who broke out of the tackle, and Blotner has to come up with another tackle, but Hollywood will tumble forward and pick up the swarm first.
And again, I said this throughout the second half, Atlanta needs to have that pushback against Charleston, who has been really carrying that football so well and dominating this time possession. So anytime that you have, you push them back and push them back with force.
Blitz coming. Dynasty looking near side. That is caught by Why Not Arlette, the tight end, for a pickup of 7. Falls out of bounds.
Yeah, just a nice little safety pass to Arlette to at least get a completion out of that. And I think that's what Dynasty needs. He just needs to rack consecutive completions on his belt so that he can start gaining his confidence. Current QBR of 46.9 ain't going to cut it for a quarterback in this league.
This might be the final play of the third quarter. Linebackers trying to get to the near side. They go up the middle with Hollywood. Picks up 6 yards. And that will bring us to the fourth quarter here from Robert Smalls Memorial Stadium here in Charleston, South Carolina. It's Charleston 20, Atlanta 6. You're watching the SFL on YouTube, presented by APM Music. Now over to Chris Curtis, who's going to tell you what I write.
Presentation of the Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Thank you, Curtis. Tyler Falk and Brett Solberg welcome you back to Robert Smalls Memorial Stadium, Week 7 of the SFL, live on YouTube, presented by APM Music. Third and down, and 4 yards to go here for Atlanta. Have to get to the 21-yard line. Pass over the middle. Oh, a spectacular grab from Blotner, and he's back up and running, and he's taken down his own 12. A drive halting interception for 46.
And that was the first time that we seen Atlanta really push back against this Charleston defense. And it looked like Dynasty was going to have another completed pass, but out comes the hands of Sam Blontner from the heavens. No catch for you, Boo Chisholm. And that halts the Atlanta push and puts the ball right back to a Charleston team that has eaten the clock so much in this game.
That's the first interception for Charleston this season, partner.
Wow.
It's been 6-7 weeks without an interception. They finally get one at the best possible time for them, worst possible time for Atlanta, and now the Charleston offense is back to work. And it's led by that man right there, Nick Hoagland, for a 6-yard pickup.
And again, set that momentum, bruise your way forward for 6 yards. That's what Charleston has done all game against Atlanta and has really sullied this defense here of the Swarm.
I take that back. It's the second interception of the season. Khalil Thomas came away with interception earlier ago. And off Hoagland now, he'll gain maybe a yard before being brought down by Sean Allen. It'll bring up third down, and Atlanta need a third down stop in the worst way.
Boy, do they ever. A 70% conversion percentage for Charleston is erred to the side of, hey, this just looks like an auto first down for Charleston, even from 3 yards out. And there you see it. Where is 4, 5, 6, 7? You got eight men in the box there for Atlanta.
They've gone to Hoagland for a fullback dive and said they will pass. Lakeman on the comeback route is caught for first down yardage to Romeo June, the rookie tight end.
And June gets himself involved here, and that's what they need to do. You've got plenty of tight ends to choose from on this Charleston team. It doesn't have to be Brian Murphy all the time. June can be a reliable option to catch from. And again, it's that spread the wealth that Charleston's done so well with.
And they waited until week 7 to get him his first career SFL reception, partner, as they try and go up the middle with a run play. Goes nowhere, taken down by Atlanta.
Yeah, they're not gonna scuff at that too much. There might have been no gain on that 2nd and 10, but I think their goal here, just shut the clock. Just make it more impossible for Atlanta to get back in this game.
A backfield look here for Charleston as the clock ticks closer to the 8-minute mark. 5-man rush. Lakeman over the middle. Caught on the run by Brian Murphy. First down for Charleston. But hold everything. Sean Allen is down for Atlanta, and that's a massive blow to that linebacking core.
Yeah, you're talking about huge loss. He's got 10 tackles in this game, along with a sack and 3 TFLs. He has been the backbone of this defense so far, and now he has to look at the sidelines, and hopefully he can get back because Atlanta needs him badly.
Just look at the dispersion for Lakeman tonight. He's really trying to get his guys involved in the middle of the field. More often than not, it has been Brian Murphy, the tight end, who has gone on a couple of streak routes to get those receptions. They try and go over the middle this time to connect with Benjamin Warder, another play they like to do. Instead, the hit jars the ball free, incomplete.
Again, it's just trying to spread the wealth here. Warner has been the main guy that is had a lot of targets. Out of Lakeman's 22 passes, 8 of them have gone Warner's way. But seeing 8 out of 22, usually when you see other teams, a high percentage goes to their top receiver.
Lakeman to throw. It's off the head of the linebacker, incomplete. And that's Sean Allen's replacement, getting involved early and maybe giving Atlanta defense a little bit of trust in their backup.
And that's what they need here. Now forcing a more suspect situation for Charleston. We haven't seen a lot of this on 3rd down. It's 3rd and 10. We usually see 3rd and short situations here.
They have converted on a 3rd and 15 earlier in the ball game, so not out of their repertoire to convert a 3rd and long. 3-man rush. Lakeman middle, deflected and incomplete. There's Papineau again, and the Moose's Antlers uses his head, knocks it aside, and Atlanta's defense gets off the field.
That's a big stop for Atlanta as well, because Charleston, especially in that third quarter, did a great job securing that football on their side and making sure that they shed clock. And they only took about a minute off, so this gives Atlanta a chance to start chipping away on this lead.
Eric Blueberry will punt this one away. Back deep to return is Falco. There's oh no! It's fumbled but recovered. Oh, that was close. Falco got rid of the football off to the hit, but Atlanta's able to fall on top of it.
Man, that was a big hit too, and that was shoulder to football. And you don't see that too often on a fumble, on a punt return there. But great awareness from the hands team from Atlanta to know where that football was going to fall. And luckily, they still keep their hands on it, and they're going to start at the 28.
Flip backfield, 2 wide receiver look to begin the drive here for Dynasty. Rolls to his left. Throws that way. Caught by Chisholm to the 45-yard line. Boo Chisholm finally get involved here in this second half.
Yeah, and if it's any time to eliminate the run game for Atlanta, it would be right now. You're down 2 touchdowns with 7 minutes to go, and you need to use this time, this precious time, as little as you can, so you have an opportunity to get back in this game. And it starts with passes like that from Bryant Dynasty.
Come out with 3 wide this time around. Linebackers expecting something on the outside. He'll pitch it to Hollywood, left side, and Khalil Thomas will drag him down from behind after a gain of 3.
Yeah, and if you want to start comparing, the Charleston-Atlanta run game again, look at the protection that BDG has. It just doesn't feel like there's enough protection and enough blocking from the Atlanta offense to help out BDG as compared to the core by committee from Charleston.
Hollywood again on the give, up the middle, and he's eventually brought down by Stamango. Had a little bit of help from Martin. That'll bring up 3rd and short.
It's a 3rd and short situation, but it leaves doubt in your mind here, because Atlanta hasn't been great on these 3rd down scenarios here. They need to figure out something to keep this drive alive, and more importantly, get themselves in a position to get a touchdown.
They were 3 of 10 in the first half. This is their first 3rd down of the second half, and Hollywood goes backward. Oh, Khalil Thomas and the rest of the Predators get home early, and it brings up a 4th down for Atlanta.
It's just been tough sledding for Atlanta through this. And I have to correct you here. Atlanta's now 1 of 5 in the second half on 3rd down conversions. They had 4 attempts in that 3rd quarter. And right now, that number keeps on dwindling down on that 3rd down conversion.
Punts away, Spider will try and return it on the edge. Gets up to the 26 and no further. That is where Charleston will take over. 8 p.m. Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. 8 p.m. Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. Explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit 8pmmusic.com. 5:53 to go. Here in the 4th and final frame. Lakeman, quick hitter over the middle, finds Murphy. Tapping out there to bring him down. It's a pickup of 7 for Charleston.
And Charleston's goal here on this drive, make no mistakes. Get yourself into field goal position and just trust on getting 3 more points, because I feel in a game like this, 1 more field goal seals the deal.
That would make it a 3-score game. Under 5.5 to go. Hoagland got the pitch. It looked like it might have been picked up by Chris Henry, who looked like it was shot out of a cannon into the backfield, but missed the play.
Yeah, and there's the risk that you have with certain pitches and certain toss handoffs there. If the defense is ready for any of those, they have an opportunity to grab it and give them no chance to run it down the field.
Atlanta need a stop here on 3rd and short. 2 yards to go. They send the blitz. Pass gets the call. He's fighting through his own lineman and finally gets the 1st down. How indeed is right. It looked like he was running through a forest.
And there was absolutely no hole to go through but he finds his way through. It feels like he shrunk his bones to microscopic levels so that he could just move his skin past these defenders to get that first down. Amazing work.
A crucial third down conversion for this Charleston offense. Now they'll mill clock as we get closer and closer to maybe some extra football or a final score. Pass on the handoff right side. That'll gain 5 yards.
Man, this has been big here. Already shedding about a minute and a half off this clock. Great job from Charleston to really extend this drive as far as they can, dwindling Atlanta's chances to get back in this game.
Offset tight end look near side of the formation here for Lakeman under center. 8 men in the box here for Atlanta trying to stop a potential run. Oh, with pass again up the middle. Pass. Oh, he's a little sneaky. Halfback. The backup deputizing well for Terrell Sutherland. Picks up another Charleston first down.
Absolutely huge to get work from a guy a little bit lower on the depth chart in replacement of Terrell Sutherland, the big bruising fullback. He gets himself involved again, finds open space, and another crucial first down for Charleston.
Atlanta might need to start calling some timeouts here even before the 2-minute warning. Right now, this Charleston offense is running all over their defense. And off again, pass. This time being brought down by Blackwell after a pickup of 4 yards.
Yeah, and again, they don't mind 4 yards in a situation like this. Their MO here is to shed that clock, and they just keep doing it here. They keep pushing that clock and dwindling it smaller and smaller and smaller.
This might be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Atlanta need a stop. They can just force Charleston off the field in the next 2 plays. They still might have a shot at this. Pass on the give, up the middle, hit by Blackwell and finished off by Jay Miraculous. To bring up third down, hit the 2-minute warning. 20-6. Charleston with a 14-point lead. And Atlanta looking more like first couple week Atlanta rather than their previous, more impressive selves at 6 points in the ball game. And Charleston finish off the swarm when we come back. 2 minutes to go here from Robert Small Memorial. You're watching the SFL Week 7 action here on YouTube. Welcome back. Tyler Falk alongside Brett Solberg in the booth. A special thank you to our statistician, Jacob Clear. Again, a special thank you to SFL League Commissioner and producer, Cameron Irvine. Just set to wrap up his first slate of games and start to a very long weekend in the SFL. Blade handoff pass up the middle. He is stopped short of the first down. Atlanta will call their first of 3 timeouts, and now their return team might have a chance to set something up.
Yeah, and the big thing here is that it's definitely outside of field goal range, so Charleston ain't going to get any points out of this. Like I said earlier, I feel like a field goal would have probably sealed things, but they're going to have to punt it away. So if you're Charleston, you want to pin them deep. I would say inside the 15.
Blueberry will try and angle it to the right-hand side. Fair catch called for by Falco. Calls in at the 19-yard line as we go back to SFL headquarters from another game break. Here's Cameron Irvine.
Thank you, Tyler. Motor City was about to, it was getting a little shaky against Baltimore, but look at Guy Clausen, the savior, 94 yards on the kick return. Baltimore's got the ball back, and they are driving. You never know with those Vultures. Motor City up 10. Back to you in Charleston.
Thank you, Cam. Pass left side, caught by Finnemore. That's a gain of 1. He heads on
Yeah, and that's something that Atlanta can't do at this point. They can't go with these short passes. You got to go deep. Every second is precious at this point. You've got 2 touchdowns to make up to at least tie this game. You got to look deep. There is no chance of running the football, and that they should just trust in the arm of Bryant Dynasty, despite his, I would say, woeful efforts so far in this game.
6 of 15. That's a 40% completion percentage. Right, Dynasty tonight. This defense for Charleston has really kept him in check. Pass over the middle. There's Falco for a gain of about 7. As Atlanta are forced to call their second timeout.
Yeah, and that's a tough pill to swallow there. That's a crucial timeout to make on such a short gain there. Only about 7 yards, forcing a 3rd and 2 here. And you're really forcing your own hand here.
What can the Swarm come up with? 3rd and short. Chisholm, the man in motion, near side. 5-step drop, pass into coverage, and Finnemore got taken out of the play. That's going to be a free first down for the Swarm.
And that's what Atlanta needs there. That's a big play on a pass that might have been a little bit overthrown from Dynasty as well, kind of compounding the fact that he hasn't had a great game tonight. So thankfully for him and thankfully for Atlanta, they're going to get themselves a free first down and 4 more plays.
The former headhunter headhunted on that play. Corey Menner led with his head to take Finnemore out of the picture. As Atlanta will get a free timeout, minute 37 to go in regulation.
Yeah, and Atlanta needs to just keep throwing it deep. They've got 97 seconds to score 14 points to at least tie the game here. No nonsense from the Atlanta Swarm should be.
Empty backfield, probably see less and less of BDG to close out the game. 4 wide here for the Swarm. Blitz coming, pass near side, picked off. It's going to go back the other way. Mark Martin says night-night to the Atlanta Swarm. Touchdown Predators.
And if you want to encapsulate the kind of game that Bryant Dynasty has had tonight, you could go to this play right here. A pass that is way off the mark and only to one defender. And Charleston will seal the deal here thanks to Mark Martin's pick 6, and they will get win number 2 in a season that they desperately need to get back to 500.
I'll tell you what, partner, he wasn't off the mark. He threw it right to Mark. Martin, that is. And that is another touchdown for Charleston. Currently a 20-point lead. Atlanta with just a timeout to go. Here comes Pritchett's extra point. It's up and good. 27-6. Charleston might have put the final nail in the coffin, as another Saturday 6-pack of SFL action kicks off at 1 p.m. Eastern with the Tulsa Desperados back in action hosting the unbeaten Alamo City Artillery. The evening block begins at 6:30 p.m. Eastern in Raleigh, where the 3-2 Carolina Skyhawks host the 2-3 Jacksonville Kings. For the complete game schedule, visit our league website at simulationfl.net. And of course, we've got 2 more games coming up later tonight. We'll touch on those in just a second, as Finnemore will spin upfield, 27-yard line. As we mentioned earlier, Portland heads to Vancouver. Tim Hackett and Jacob Clear, our statistician, pulling double duty tonight, or triple duty as head coach and owner, is going to be on the call for that one. I'm pulling double duty here. I'll be in the call with a certain Hacker fellow, Stephen Hacker that is, as Seattle takes on Las Vegas. 1st and 10 for Atlanta, just some formalities here for Atlanta. Maybe they can pick up some points and get to double digits on the score line if Dynasty can keep better control of the football. Blitz coming, pass left side, nearly taken away on the 2nd straight pass by Sam Blotner, incomplete.
Yeah, and then Blotner was asking for that football to go his way, and he got it. And he was about a few inches away from, grabbing his own interception there. Bryant Dynasty, he's got to forget this one very quickly and just focus on, fighting for pride in this last minute and a half and focusing on the good things here.
A very impressive performance tonight, trying to limit Atlanta to under 200 yards. Here comes Finnemore on the best pass of the night. He will just trot out of bounds after picking up the first down. And That's a better start to the drive than last time.
Yeah, and you said it there. Before this play here, we were talking about, just 53 yards of total offense in the fourth quarter, including this pass, 53 yards. But the big thing here is that second half has just been so woeful offensively for Atlanta that they haven't gotten anything going either through the run or through the pass. And it's just been great defensive effort from Charleston, who has needed it because they have allowed so many points over the first 5 weeks.
More wideouts here for Atlanta. Dynasty back to throw into double coverage again. Incomplete. There's Mark Martin on the deflection. They tried putting their 3 top wide receivers on that side of the field partner. Finamore, Falco, and Chisholm, and Charleston are reading that like a book.
Yeah, and it's not just the 3 corners that they had on there. There was a 4th safety as well helping out. So it was a mismatch from the start.
Second down, they're back to the line from their own 40. Heavy blitz coming as Dynasty looks to the middle. That's a good catch from Finamore just across midfield. It's a first down. Atlanta called their 3rd and final timeout. Now it's a race to the finish.
Yeah, and again, it's just about pride here at this point for Atlanta. It's been a tough going, especially in the second half. If they can end this off with a high mark to say, hey, at least we got to the end zone tonight, they can go into their next game and really focus on, the next opponent.
Dynasty to throw, looking middle, nearly threw it away. Scamango had the game-sealing pick, and he dropped it.
Yeah, and again, it's just Dynasty not really having, composure tonight, and it's just, again, overthrowing it a little bit on his receiver there, almost into the hands of another Charleston defender there. It's been one to forget for sure for Bryant Dynasty.
And you have to credit this Charleston defense. They've been sending blitz after blitz and getting pressure on Dynasty all night tonight because he has to get rid of it quickly again. Finamore is there. It's a first down inside the 35-yard line, and back to the line they come.
Yeah, they're out of timeouts at this point, so they got to go hurry up here.
Dynasty will spike it with 53 seconds to go, down by 21 as they reset here on a second down.
Yeah, right now for Atlanta, just focus on plays you haven't used yet, see if they work, and use the plays that have worked to get yourself, moving forward.
This could very well be the second win, if things stay as they are, the second win in the matchup history for Charleston. They'll go back-to-back wins against Charleston. Last time these two teams met was in season 18 when Charleston won 44-27. This one, reminiscent of their first meeting, 17-6 in favor of Atlanta. However, the 6 lies in Atlanta scored line this time around. Pass is caught by Chisholm to the 24-yard line. Back to the line they come with 41 seconds to go. Dynasty will spike it. 40 seconds to go here in regulation. Take a look at these teams' next opponents. Atlanta back to the drawing board as they head to a bye week in week number 8, their second bye week of the season. They'll take on Florida in week 9. Currently are unbeaten coming into the week. Meanwhile, Charleston, they'll play their heated rivals, Carolina, here at home. Finamore gets the pass. It's only a 2-yard pickup. Back to the line comes Atlanta. And then after that, Charleston goes on their second and final bye week. Dynasty spikes it on 3rd down. That's 4th and 8, 4th and save face for the Swarm.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. They've produced a really good drive, and they've gotten, a little bit more confidence from Bryant Dynasty on this drive as well, because he has done a great job with these completions. I just feel like they should have continued with the hurry up and not spike the ball so much so Dynasty could have, a few more throws under his belt tonight.
Huge credit to the crowd here at Robert Small Memorial Stadium. They're still loud here late on the 4th quarter as blitz coming past middle off the fingertips of Wynot Arlette, and that will be your ball game. Charleston will take over on a turnover and downs. Should see a few kneel downs as Charleston will pick up win number 2 here in season 21 of the SFL.
And like I said at the start of this program here, it is a huge second win for Charleston as well, because you've got DC, who are on the verge of potentially losing to Motor City to push them to 3-3. You have DC, who has had an up and down season. You've had Carolina at 3-2, who've had an up and down season. So if they can start piling some wins here, they can get themselves back in the Atlantic picture here.
And that was your final play of the ball game. Lakeman with the kneel down, just 15 seconds until the horn sounds. It will be a 27-6 ball game here for the Predators. A very strong performance from both sides of the football. The defense holds Atlanta to 6 points, and the offense gets a little help from the defense in the scoring category to finish off the Swarm 27-6. Robert Small's Memorial Stadium.
And a huge statement from Charleston here. You know, the one thing I was really focusing on this game is that if Charleston, whether or not Charleston was going to be ready defensively in this game, and look at that number right there, 211 yards of total offense for Atlanta in a league where you need 350 or more to be a successful squad. They shut them down in all aspects of the game. Brian Dynasty had a very tough time, as we documented throughout the second half. BDG Hollywood had a very, very tough time. But the thing is, Charleston's offense had the ball for so long that Atlanta didn't have an opportunity in this game. And you see it right on the top there, 0-0 on the third and fourth quarter scores, which helped Charleston win this game.
So many different members of the halfback core got involved tonight. A very strong performance for them. The defense gets a little bit of help for Atlanta. A couple of happy notes for them as John Allen picks up his first career sack, and BDG crosses the 17,000-yard rushing mark in his career. With that being said, more action to come later tonight and all throughout this weekend. We hope you join us for Week 7 of the SFL. For my partner, Brett Solberg, and our statistician, Jacob Clear, and producer, Commissioner Cameron Irvine, I've been Tyler Falk. We'll see you later. Until then, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Later.